Ever wondered how your computer communicates over the internet? It uses something called an IP address. To paint a picture, imagine you're at a bustling party where everyone is chattering away. Amidst the hubbub, you're trying to share a secret with a friend. But how do you get this message across without everyone else overhearing? Well, you'd probably pull your friend aside and whisper it to them, right? That's essentially what an IP address does. It's a unique identifier that enables your computer, smartphone, or any other device connected to the internet to send and receive information. Think of it as a digital whisper, a secret code that ensures your data reaches the right destination amidst the bustling crowd of online traffic. This unique identifier is a string of numbers separated by periods, and it serves two main purposes. The first part of the address identifies the network, and the second part identifies the device within that network. This two-pronged approach ensures that the billions of devices connected to the internet can all communicate effectively without any mix-ups. Now, you might be thinking, is there just one type of IP address? The answer is no. There are different types of IP addresses, each with its own specific use and properties. Some are used for public networks, others for private ones. Some remain constant, while others change periodically. So, why are there different types? Well, the internet is a complex beast. It's a vast, interconnected web of networks, each with its own set of rules and protocols. Different types of IP addresses allow this intricate system to function smoothly, ensuring that data gets where it needs to go, whether that's across the globe or just down the hall. Now that we've established what an IP address is, let's delve into the different types that exist. First up, we have public IP addresses. Now, what exactly is a public IP address, you ask? Well, let's dive right in. In the vast ocean of the internet, public IP addresses serve as unique identifiers. They are the address of your home or business on the digital map of the internet. So how does a device get a public IP address? This is where your internet service provider, or ISP, steps in. The ISP assigns a unique public IP address to your router. Yes, you heard that right. Your router, that small box that brings the internet to your home or office, has its own unique address on the internet. Think of it like this. Just as your home address allows the pizza delivery person to locate your home among all the houses in the city, a public IP address allows data packets to find their way to your router among all devices connected to the internet. Public IP addresses are not just unique, but they are also scarce. With the world running out of IPv4 addresses, which are based on 32 bits and can provide over 4 billion unique addresses, we are moving towards IPv6. IPv6 uses 128 bits and can provide a mind-boggling number of unique addresses. So many, in fact, that every grain of sand on Earth could have its own address. But why are public IP addresses so important? They play a crucial role in making the internet function as it does. Every time you visit a website, send an email, or stream a video, your router uses its public IP address to communicate with servers across the internet, ensuring that the data you requested reaches you and not someone else. So, in a nutshell, public IP addresses are unique identifiers for your household or business on the internet. They are like your home address, but for the digital world, ensuring that all your online requests and data reach the right destination. Next, let's talk about private IP addresses. Private IP addresses, as the name suggests, are used in private networks. They are the unsung heroes, working behind the scenes, ensuring that all the devices within a network can communicate with each other smoothly. Imagine your home network. Each device, be it your laptop, smartphone, or even your smart fridge, has a unique private IP address. This is akin to each member of a household having a unique name. Just like how you'd call out to your brother or sister by their name, devices within a network use these private IP addresses to identify and communicate with each other. Now, you might be wondering, why use private IP addresses at all? Why not just use public IP addresses for every device? Well, there's a good reason for that. The internet is a vast place, and there's a limit to the number of unique public IP addresses that can exist. By using private IP addresses within networks, we can reuse the same set of addresses in different networks. This way, we can have billions of devices connected to the internet without running out of unique IP addresses. But there's a catch. These private IP addresses are not routable on the internet, meaning if a device with a private IP address sends a request to a server on the internet, that server won't be able to send back a response because it doesn't know where this private IP address is. It's like sending a letter without a return address. The recipient won't know where to send the reply. That's where public IP addresses come in. They act as the return address for your network on the internet. Any communication that needs to go outside the network is sent with the public IP address of your network. This way, the server on the internet knows where to send the response. So, while public IP addresses are used to identify your network on the internet, private IP addresses are used to identify individual devices within your network. Now, let's look at the other two types of IP addresses, static and dynamic. Diving right in, a static IP address, as the name suggests, is a type of IP address that remains the same over time. It's like your home address. No matter how many times you come and go, your address doesn't change. This consistency can be crucial for certain applications. Let's consider a business, for instance. A business might need a static IP for their server to ensure that their clients can always find them at the same address. In the world of networking, a static IP acts as a reliable point of contact, which is critical for servers hosting websites, VPN services, or email systems. Now, let's shift gears and talk about dynamic IP addresses. Contrary to static IPs, dynamic IP addresses can change. They are temporarily assigned each time a computer or device connects to the internet. It's like staying at a hotel. Each time you visit, you might be assigned a different room. For most home users, a dynamic IP address is more than sufficient. They connect to the internet, get an IP address, and once they disconnect, that IP address goes back into the pool for other devices to use. So why use dynamic IPs at all? Well, they're incredibly efficient and cost-effective. Since there are a finite number of IP addresses available, dynamic IPs ensure that addresses are not wasted when devices are offline. They're like the perfect recyclers of the digital world, keeping things running smoothly and efficiently. In a nutshell, static IP addresses provide consistency and reliability, ideal for businesses with servers that need to be constantly accessible. On the other hand, dynamic IP addresses offer flexibility and efficiency, perfect for casual internet users who don't require a permanent IP address. So whether your IP address changes or stays the same depends on whether it's static or dynamic. So, we've covered a lot about IP addresses today. We started with a broad overview of what an IP address is, a unique identifier for devices on a network. It's like your home address, but for your computer, phone, or other internet-connected device. We then dove into the world of public IP addresses. These are assigned by your internet service provider and are used for communication over the internet. They're like the address you'd put on an envelope if you were sending a letter. Public IP addresses are unique across the whole internet, ensuring that data sent from your device reaches its intended destination. We also discussed private IP addresses. These are used within local networks like your home or office. They allow devices within the same network to communicate with each other, much like how people in the same room can talk to each other without needing to use a phone. Private IP addresses are unique within a local network, but not across the internet. Next, we explored static and dynamic IP addresses. Static IPs remain the same over time, like your home address. They're useful for hosting websites or services, as others can reliably find your server at the same address. Dynamic IPs, on the other hand, can change each time you connect to the internet. They're like hotel room numbers. You get a different one each time you check in. Dynamic IPs are typically used by residential internet users as they're more efficient for ISPs to manage. Each type of IP address has its place and purpose. Public and private IPs are about location, whether you're communicating within a local network or over the internet. Static and dynamic IPs are about change, whether your address stays the same over time or changes each time you connect. Understanding IP addresses may seem complicated, but once you break it down, it's pretty straightforward. That's all for now. See you in the next video.